Today we've got a real interesting topic for you. Taxes in the nail business. What do I do? We've been hearing this, and I'm telling you, I've got answers, man. We're going to get right into it right now on the Biz Talk.
You need to stop.
I need to stop with what?
It's just weird.
What? Can you explain to me what's weird?
Way too excited about taxes, by the way.
Dude.
Way too excited.
Okay, this is a topic that, if I'm being totally honest, does it excite me? A little bit. Yes, I do, because it has to do with business. And taxes to many people are like, it's a pain point, especially to nail professionals. Stephanie was communicating to us some topics that we should cover. This was one of them. We've been hearing it a lot. How to deal with it, like the frustrations with nail pros. Yes, I'm excited about flipping taxes.
Death and taxes.
Death and taxes, man, the only certainties in life. If you're a nail pro, this is a really good episode to tune in. Okay, now, first thing I want to say is we are not giving you advice, okay? That's the first thing.
First of all, never take our advice.
First things first.
Right there.
Okay? But like, you need to go to a tax professional, okay? What I'm going to talk about is some of the realities, okay, that are just inevitable. And let me say this, okay? When I first started here at Young Nails, which is almost 20 years ago, I know you're saying, how's that possible, Habib? You look so good. But the truth is, it's been 20 years. Now, Trace, 20 years ago when I started, I hired this one amazing gentleman to help us with our finances, right? I didn't know anything about business. I knew nothing. The first thing this guy said to me, and I will never, ever, ever forget it. It is like ingrained in my brain. He said,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Deep. It's deep. The first thing that this guy told me was, he said, Habib, no monkey business. That's what he said. Okay. And okay, if I'm being honest, like, I was like, what the hell is he talking about? This just got real weird.
We do nails.
It got real weird, bro. No monkey business. No. What he said was, he goes, what I'm trying to tell you is never mess around with your taxes. No monkey business. Like, what you make, you claim it. Yeah. And you pay your taxes. As a citizen of the United States, it's your responsibility and it's your duty. You've got to pay your taxes. Do not mess with the government ever. No. When it comes to this.
Come back.
They will come after you.
I've seen it.
I have seen it too.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting because, like, I didn't hire this guy for like tax advice, or he wasn't really giving me advice, but just his opinion on how to go about it. And let me say this. That was the most important thing that in business that I learned, like in the beginning, was, okay, I get what he's saying. I am not going to mess around. If we have to pay taxes, we're going to pay them, and we're going to find a way. And so check this out. This is really interesting. He cleaned up our whole financial situation for the company, okay, 20 years ago. And back then we were really, really small. I mean, we were operating out of 1,800 square feet.
Right.
It was my mom, my brother, and I, and my uncle working for us, just the four of us. And I remember I submitted all the paperwork. We didn't keep track of stuff like obviously we do now because we were much smaller back then. But he called me, okay, and he's like, Habib, I have great news for you. And I was like, oh my God.
Get money back.
No.
Oh.
No.
Bummer.
He said to me, he's like, you guys are profitable. And I was like, what? He's like, Young Nails turned a profit. This was in 2000, okay? And he's like, you guys made money. And I swear to God, it was like a celebration went off. My mom, and we were in tears because, the 8 to 9 years before that was just such a grind and struggle. And we were just eating dirt for so long. And he's like, now for the bad news. And I'm like, wait. How is there any bad news?
Just keep to the good.
Yeah, just keep the good. And he said, you owe taxes. And I'm like, what? You owe money. How do we owe money? He goes, because you made money, and so you got to pay.
Let me break this down for you.
Yeah, let me break this down for you. It's called paying your taxes. I didn't understand. And I think a lot of nail pros are in a similar situation where they don't understand. And so here's what he said. He's like, you owe X amount of dollars, okay? And I'm like, how the hell am I going to pay this, right? Because just because on the books it says we made money doesn't mean that I have that money in the bank account, right? For us, because we're an inventory business, right? When we make money, we reinvest in inventory. So it's not like you see that money. A lot of manufacturing or inventory base, that's kind of how it works. And
comes in and goes
it
right
comes
back
in.
out.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. So I learned my lesson, preparation. I've got to prepare and start planning for taxes. For nail pros, Tracey, I think this is probably the number one piece of advice. If you are on your own, if you have your own business, your own salon, or you're independent, right? You've got your own, if you're booth renting, you are now your own business. You need to plan for taxes. Tracey, in your opinion, how many nail pros do they like, have you seen issues? Have you seen this like come across where there's been challenges with taxes?
It was interesting because Steph and us were talking about it prior, and she said that she's talked to a lot of techs that are kind of surprised by the fact that they have to pay taxes. I've never really come across that.
Yeah.
What I have come across is because it is a cash situation, or not just cash, we get the money at the moment. And if you don't put the money aside,
right there and then.
Yeah, and a whole year.
Yeah.
This is what I've seen is they get a big shock. They know they have to pay it. They just get shocked by it at the end of the year because it hits all at once and they did not plan for it. They take, well, I had it aside and then
had to use it
hit, or the holidays hit, and I thought I would just, and they take it, they use it with the plan of putting it back, and it never gets. It never happens. And that was the biggest problem I've seen.
So when we were talking about that with Steph, and she was saying there's a lot of nail pros that are surprised they have to pay taxes. I'll be honest. Initially, I was like, "How can you be surprised?"
Right.
But I was surprised when we had to pay taxes.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Now that I get, because I
do
kind of thought the same thing, but I guess it is. It's the surprise of it at the end.
At the end.
It's up here.
It's up there.
But
and that was a huge sort of moment for me. Like, it was shock, and there was like, I went from this huge high to this huge low of depression of like, how in the hell are we going to pay this? Oh my God. And that's where financing comes in, and that's where like good business credit, and like, sometimes you got to borrow money, you got to work in all those angles, right? In the nail business is a little different because it's service based. It's not like you're investing all of your earnings back into inventory like we were doing.
Right.
It's a service business. So how do you deal? Okay. Now, here's the thing. Every state is going to have different tax laws.
Right.
And depending on how you're set up, are you set up as independent? Are you set up as an LLC, S Corp? I have no idea. Okay. You need to look at your laws and understand that. But this is what I would do if I was a nail professional. Okay. I would seek out for professional guidance in this area. Okay. So what does that mean? Probably the first place I would go is like something local, there's
what?
tons, like an H&R Block
for taxes.
For taxes. Okay. Sorry, for tax purposes.
Like an accountant.
Yeah. I would look out for a tax professional, right? Like maybe an H&R Block. You guys came up with a really good, even more better piece of advice, which was finding somebody that
they were familiar with it. So I had the problem, and it sounded like Steph had the same problem, is when I went to kind of a tax place that handled a lot of taxes.
Sure.
They really were not familiar with the beauty industry. And beauty industry is unique. So they weren't even sure what to do with my, like, I don't know if this is a tax writable thing.
Right.
So fortunately I had, friends who had this tax guy. So he was very familiar with the beauty industry. He had dealt with hairdressers and nail techs and all that. Once I went to him, my life got so easy.
Really?
Like he knew exactly what I could write off and what I couldn't. And so it made my life really, really easy.
So I like that a lot. I mean, we do that in our space. So we use a professional accounting firm that specializes in manufacturing. Okay. Because what we can write off perhaps is going to be different than what a service business can or what,
Right.
And I really think that's important. I would say, like, if you're completely lost, okay, the first thing is, like, find a professional, okay, in this area that can help you. And then to take it one step further, I would really, in my opinion, I think it's a really good idea to find somebody who specializes in the beauty industry. They're going to understand the details way more.
Even down to, like, he knew how much I could write off laundry detergent.
Yeah, right.
Most tax people are not going to know that. Like,
right.
He knew that we use towels and we take them home and we wash them and
right.
All that. So
exactly.
It's huge.
Yeah, that is huge. So let's sort of summarize this, okay? First of all, you have to prepare for taxes, okay? You're going to make money. And what I would do, again, if I was an nail tech, every single day, I would do this. I would take a certain percentage and I would literally make it disappear.
That's what
not at the store. No, don't go shopping. Not like that. Yeah. Where it disappears. But really you have to use discipline and say, this money does not exist. I'm putting it away in preparation for my taxes. And you do it all year long.
I did that daily.
You did it daily.
Yeah. I had a separate account.
That is what
it just went.
Yep. You have to do that. It will, trust me, at the end of the year. And so here's the thing, like, if it comes up that you owe more money, well, it's not going to be that much more, right? Because you've already accumulated. Or in the best case scenario, it's not as much as you saved. And now you've got this little chunk of money that's left over there, which is also a bonus. And then you might end up getting money back. There's so many things that can happen. It's only going to do you good. And then number 2, find a professional to give you guidance in this area. Really somebody that has experience in the beauty industry. I think that is really good. I think that's going to help out a lot. I have one more. Yes, please.
Because I see this a lot.
Sure.
Receipts. Or your credit card statements, however.
Save them.
So many nail techs or in the beauty, I guess probably everywhere. They think, oh, it was just $5. They don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Save everything. It adds $5. How many times do we talk about $5 and how much it adds up to?
Yep.
That is all part of your write-off, and your accountant can take care of it. They'll figure it all out. But if you don't have the receipt or the proof, there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it.
And just to add on top of that, there are some incredible apps that you can use. I myself use Expensify. And every time there's a business expense, I take a picture of it, and then it like categorizes. You can categorize it and organize it. It takes 2 seconds to do. And then it keeps all my receipts organized. Your professional might say, keep your paper receipts. I don't know. I can't, for me, I just take a picture. Yeah. Ask them and find out. But there's apps now that make it really easy. So, talk to your professional, find out what you need to do. Tracey, thank you. Appreciate you again. My God, I haven't appreciated Tracey this much ever in her whole entire life. But I appreciate you, Trace. Thank you. If you have any comments on this topic, let us know below. We'd love to hear what you do, how you go about it, how do you prepare for your upcoming tax payment. And with that, say thank you very much, and we will see you next time on the Biz Talk.